As you can see, I'm sitting at an airport gate at the moment in Hanoi International Airport. And I want to talk to you about what's the best airport in the world and what are the worst airports in the world and just airport experiences in general. My probably two favorite airports in the world, and this may be debatable, but they're favorite for particular reasons. One, I recently went to Japan as I was flying out of Tokyo to Okinawa. I went to the, is it called the Naruto or the Naruto or something like that airport? And one thing that I was really surprised about, this was at the domestic airport, by the way, because I was flying to Okinawa. They had 7-Eleven or supermarket or whatever their little shopping center is inside. And everything was the same price that it was outside. And meals at the airport, at the restaurants at the airport, were all pretty much standard prices. So I was paying $6 Australian, about $4 US for katsu curry don, chicken katsu curry don. And Japan isn't a third world country. Anyway, so I'm here in Hanoi, and I just got a Whopper Junior meal, and it was $13 US. Yeah, so it's about like 19 Australian dollars or something. Even I think in Australia they're about $16 at the airport for a Whopper Junior. Jesus Christ. One of my second other favorite airports, because the one in Tokyo, it's kind of far to get to, but it's simple to get to. So at least that's not a problem. There's all these buses that go all the time. Berlin's International Airport, now they get a lot of flack for this airport, but there's a train that goes right there, and that's very handy. Now, yeah, there's a lot of cities that have trains to airports, but then there's also a lot of cities that don't. Melbourne doesn't have a train to the airport. Sydney does. That one's pretty good, although price-wise, it's bitch. Not the train, but the airport itself. But yeah, in Berlin, they also have a supermarket just outside the airport. You can buy food or drinks there for supermarket prices. Why are airports such rip-offs? Speaking of rip-offs, they just charged me extra for my luggage. Well, because they made me check in the gate. I do carry on, and admittedly, you know, my bag's it's a little bit over. And this is one thing I really disagree with. And I'm sure you've seen the memes online of these like really skinny people with a slightly overweight bag, or then like a really, really overweight person. And what's the difference? It's 2 or 3 kilos. Who cares? Yeah, that's just my gripe. In certain airports, you'll go through security, then you get checked again, then you get checked again. Airports have become the worst way of travel. Flying, and they've just introduced like standing up seats on some new airplane I've seen online. What is your absolute worst airport experience? So I think I had mine the other day flying Vietjet, going from Da Nang to Hanoi, and everything that could go wrong went wrong. My middle name wasn't printed on the ticket, so they're like, sorry, you got to go to the counter. Then I went to the counter. I have to pay for the name change or name adding my middle name on a domestic flight. Anyway, so I do that at one counter, then they send me to the other counter to line up to like give them the form. And then when I get there, they're like, okay, now we're gonna weigh your bag. I'm like, checked in online so you didn't have to weigh my bag. Yeah, of course, that one's over too. So I had to go to a different counter, pay some money, come back. Then they're like, passport, and I realized passport's gone, and they're like, passport, and I'm like, yeah, just give me one moment. And they're like, passport, and then they're like, oh wait, I have your passport. So it turns out that when I went to the other counter, they kept my passport and didn't give it back to me. And then asking for my passport that they had it was very stressful. Get through the gate. To my knowledge, I thought I'd almost missed the flight. Then I get there and the plane's delayed. Now, oh yeah, that's right, my plane delays My plane today is delayed 2 hours. Airports suck. I will say, traveling around certain countries like Japan, just get the train everywhere, the bullet train. Okinawa was an island, so I couldn't get a bullet train there. But yeah, just get the bullet train, it's the best. Yeah, Europe, just get trains or buses. Australia, no. You're flying, or you're driving for like 30 hours. Anyway, tell me your worst airport story, or your best. Train is now delayed. Another 3 hours late. This was $6 US. $6.50 was cheaper. It's more than $10 for working often.